To recap last session, I love doing these two sessions because they're both quite different, but they're both just as wacky and fun. But to recap last session, you got to Ridak, saw the burst, some people flying from the burst, but as soon as you entered, you split from the group to go and check out some other areas in a banana split. You met a woman on the street named Amelia who was doing card tricks. She offered you a bet that you wouldn't be able to know what her card trick she's doing is, but you absolutely could tell because she was awful at it. And then you pulled off a card trick in front of her that was so genuinely amazing that you have now recruited her to be part of a little empire, Alden the Amazing's empire. And then you visited the shadow room. Was a little bit spooky there. Knocking on the door and the door flies open by itself. Absolutely just dead quiet. Dark or gray wood. Noped out of there real quick, and then went to Joymates, where you conned some college kids that were amazed to see a wizard in Ridak. And got some money out of it at the end. I forget. I think it was like you're up 11 or 14 copper or something like that. It's in the, I
Yeah,
think
that
we all
that was
had.
after scamming them, and then also people out in the street at night.
Yep, yep. All the drunk people. And where we ended is you got to just a random inn, not the sleepy inn, but just a random little motel place just to get some rest. And you finish the night reading your spell book, and you drift off to sleep. So I'd like to start this session. If you could do a dream roll for me.
Oh yeah, the dream rolls, the dream
Mm-hmm.
rolls. This is a D100, right?
Just a D100, baby.
All right, let's see how I do. Ooh,
Okay.
straight.
Okay. 70. Love it. Uh, just checking that I'm recording. Yeah. This with your dream roll of a 70. I'll say that much like the drank dream that you had maybe about a week ago, that had been kind of a recurring dream, right? You have another dream that has also been recurring, but the problem with this one is you, even yourself, are not sure if you have made up this memory or not. You don't know if just through your life, because you were so young when it must have happened, that you're not entirely sure how you could remember it, especially after the era switch, because you can't remember many things that occurred before about 2,000 days ago. But your dream is you as a young child, very low to the ground, at your family home, and it is the uh, day that your parents brought home your little brother. And
Wow.
on this day, and this is why you're not entirely sure if you remember it because you were very young at the time. Did we say how much older he is?
Uh,
I think it
I'm
was
not
like
entirely sure we did.
I think it was like 4 years.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
it sounds about right. Not
Yeah,
much older, but
yeah, it was like 3, 4 years. Anyway, you're very young, and so that's what makes you doubt it. And on top of that, remembering this dream as you wake up, you've had this dream where it's kind of positive, positive emotions all around, but also quite negative ones. And with this dream, it was more on the positive side. Your parents come home with your little brother. They're smiling, as the door opens, sunlight is streaming in. It's very over dramatic in terms of just, you could put like happy music behind it, and it would fully make sense. And they're smiling as they show you your little brother, and you know it's all in very much slow motion, right? And the detail is, you can see the twinkle, in your father's eyes, and it's very rare to have ever, seen either of them smile this way. And so it is, you reminisce about how things either could have been. But then in other times when you had this dream, much colder, it's raining outside when they open the door. And this is not the dream you had this night, but you know that previous dreams have been much colder, so you're not entirely sure if this dream is real because it changes all the time. But this one was quite positive, I'll say. And that is the dream that you remember as you wake up.
For a moment there, I do feel that happiness. Then I remember that I'm dreaming about Michael the Magnificent and how much he's stolen from me. How talentless of a fraud he actually is. And how he had everything handed to him on a silver platter. And my joy turns into bitter jealousy and angst. And to distract myself from those feelings, you know what I'm going to do?
What do you do?
I'm going to do a fucking workout routine.
Let's do it.
Just immediately hit the floor, start doing push-ups, doing whatever I can to work a full body circuit for like an hour, 45 minutes. And, work up a good sweat, put on my robe, don't even think about taking a shower.
Nope.
Taking a bath. Smell like shit. And then I'm gonna go down and get some breakfast and figure out what I'm gonna do for the day.
Nice. I'll say breakfast is included in this place. It's a nice little bed and breakfast. So when you paid for your room,
awesome.
That's pretty epic. But it's also not the best breakfast. Yeah, it's not the best breakfast.
We got the powdered eggs. We got the muffins in the plastic wrap.
But
all right,
as you're kind of getting your food, I will say there's it's some meat of some sort. That's all you can tell based off it. You'd have to ask to see specifically, but the bar tender there, or the person running the establishment at the moment, he goes, well, it ain't no Ace's chickens, but I think it's still pretty good.
Yes, I could, let's see, spruce this up with some spice magic. And I say, while you're away, could you go get me a glass of water?
He says, "Oh, absolutely, mate. Let me get that for you." And gets you a glass of water.
As he's away, I'm gonna really quickly look around. Is there like a salt shaker on the table or something?
Yeah, I'd say there's a little bowl of salt.
I'm gonna quickly put it in my sleeve and wait for him to come back. With the water.
He comes back with the water. He's about to hand it to you.
I take it and I say, "Look at this," and then I try to shake the salt out of my sleeve, but have my hand in a way that looks like I'm trying to cast it, and just trying to look like I'm casting salt out of my sleeve onto my eggs or whatever I'm eating.
Yeah, I would love a performance check just to see how well you do.
Oh hell! Oh no!
Oh no! You got it.
God.
Roll high. We're rolling high today.
I got a +0 to performance. That'd be really funny.
Just a flat check, dude. 6.
Straight 6.
6. Oh, even worse. I'll say you don't mess it up so bad that the salt shaker comes out, but a lot of salt comes out of your hand. So it's not like a nice little sprinkle, but like just a like a good two or three, maybe a tablespoon of salt.
Oh
Just
God.
dumps onto your food. You shake a little
Uh,
bit too hard, but nothing falls out. It does look from your perspective like you just shot salt out of your hand. This guy goes, "Oh, wow, you really must be a magician. I didn't know magicians could do that. That's impressive. I could use you back in the kitchen. Jeez."
yep, still working on that one. That's why I asked for the water.
Oh, well, if you need anything else, just let me know.
Walks away, like when he's distracted, I just kind of sneak the salt shaker out of my
Yeah.
arms. Like, fucking thing. Put that on the counter.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
You eat your very salty
I
meat
told
and eggs.
I told Amelia I would like give her 48 hours
Yeah,
to
2 days.
kind of
Yep.
see how she performs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure what to do next. It's a big city.
It is,
Uh, I asked the bartender,
yeah.
how much is it to go on that burst thing?
Well, are you new to Ridak?
Yes.
Well, first time riders go free.
Oh.
Yes, it's a big
eh,
tourist attraction here. But I'll tell you this: once you go on it, you'll want to go on it again.
all right. Well, how much is it for the second time?
That's a great question. Let me see.
Huh.
uh,
I just noticed a bully ring.
yeah, I love
Okay,
some of these fucking places. Uh,
that's
I'll
fine.
say, he says, "Oh, for an adult, it'll be probably around 5 silver to ride it again."
Oh, hell. Well, I will definitely take advantage of the first free ride.
Yes.
uh, and then, oh, I'm just kind of looking at the map
Mm-hmm.
and trying to see if there's anything that really catches my interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm getting worried that even though the card tricks are pretty good, I may need to spruce up on some magical abilities.
Mm.
Now, I'm thinking things that people have never really seen before. Like, imagine if I pulled a rabbit out of my hat. Imagine if I had a magic wand that I pulled flowers out of. Imagine if I kept throwing up handkerchiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept coming up. With that in mind, I just I'm gonna ask the bartender. I have a nephew, and he loves magic. I'm
Mm.
trying to really, press him with
Mm-hmm.
new stuff. Really just entry level things that he can really, take it, like not real magic, but I mean, well, yes, real magic, but just simple things. Is
Mm-hmm.
there anywhere in the city where I can get cheap magical goods for the most part, or adjacent, or you know,
Mm.
hell, the kid loves toys, so is there a toy shop nearby?
Mm. Well, he says there's certainly lots of shops nearby that uh, sell just general things that you could try and make a toy out of. But if you're looking for wild and wacky things, I would definitely and he goes he kind of what I'll say is he says, what's the name of it? And he goes over to the side, counter and pulls open a drawer. He takes out a sheet of paper. He's kind of running down his fingers on it, and he says, "Oh, yes." He says, "I would go to Todd's Oddities if you're looking for just odd things that, lots of kids like to go there for little trinkets. But if you're looking for magic sort of adjacent things, then it may be there. Maybe a good
All
place
right,
that you would like to go to."
Toddities. Excuse me, Toddities. Got it.
Yes, Todd's Oddities.
Todd's oddities, Toddities. Cool. All right. Well, I'll check it out. Thank you. and I finish up my meal, and then I think my plan for today is head down. Kind of curious about the Tents of Luck,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd like to cut back over and go to Brog's because I kind of
Okay.
curious about a name like that.
Fucking
And then I
Brogs,
gotta check out the burst. I gotta check out the burst.
yeah.
Oh shit! And then poppy snacks. Ooh, that's popping. So yeah, uh, the tents, Brogs, the burst. Let's start with those three
All
main
right.
oddities.
Yeah, we're just work out. We're getting a full pack day. You got to make the most of it. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Awesome. So you get ready. You do your daily preparations and all that, and you're heading off to the Tents of Luck. Which let's see roughly. Oh, the. That is not what I wanted. How do I delete it? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just trying to measure it. Measure distance. There we go.
Guy inventing the ruler.
Yeah. It's about a 2 mile hike to get to the Tents of Luck.
Holy.
So you get
Oh. Oh.
you got a
How
lot
hot
of
is it? Oh,
uh
no, there's just snowstorm the other day.
it's
It's
well
fine.
it's fall, yeah. It's
Okay. All
it's
right.
nice.
Oh, Lord. I wasn't prepared for so much walking. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting your workout in. You got your weights this morning. Now you're doing some cardio.
Yep.
With a
Yep.
nice 30-minute walk. But you start to head over to the Tents of Luck. I will say, uh, well, first give me a perception check
Sure.
as you're just walking. Just for
How's
walking,
it
dude.
going? I got you. I honestly. Okay, there it is.
Oh,
Wow.
all the numbers around that were really good, but
Mm-hmm.
did not land on that. I'll say as you're walking through the lower end, especially, there are other people that are on the street, kind of like Amelia was, but they all are. None of them are, holding up a sign for card tricks or any kind of, tricks that you have been familiar or like that you did outside of Joymates last night, right? All of them
They're
are
just
just,
homeless.
yeah, they're just homeless, just asking for money. But you do notice that this is generally, around town. It doesn't look to be the nicest. And as you're walking through lower end, again, all the buildings around here, it's still sprawled out like you'll see throughout all of Ridak, but all the buildings here are painted this weird like brown and red color.
Yeah.
It's the vibes are kind of not that good. But I'll say as you, I'm trying to move you, Mister Sir. But as you're kind of walking down this path, and you get to this super wide path. This path is one. It's much wider. Remember, these other paths you're walking down are like 100 feet wide. This one's like 200 feet wide, but it is made
Oh.
of, you know, like cobblestone. Yeah, like that would be the best way to put it. Like a mix between like cobblestone and gravel is just this entire path. And
Yeah.
this is obviously like a major roadway. And there's, looking to the left and the right, there's a very distinct difference in the style of buildings as you're looking towards central Ridak, which, it's as you're looking at different maps and intersections, you can tell that this is what this is. As you're looking at central Ridak, the buildings, some of them are a little bit taller and they seem to be made of more intricate designs. All the other ones were very simple, just boxes. These have more ornate structures, carved wood on them. They're painted various colors, nice pastels or, some whites, some blacks. Just, it looks a lot nicer than lower end. It's the contrast is just you can look left and right and there's just a very
Yeah. It's
big
just
difference.
redlining. It's It's just a super highway going through the
Yeah,
good and
exactly.
bad parts of town.
Exactly. So you see Central Ridak, but your adventures are not through Central Ridak just yet. But as you're kind of walking down this path, um, I'll say you can take the main path. How would you like to get to the Tents of Luck? Would you want to go through like
Oh,
this this little path, or
I'll just continue down the big way. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a lot of people out. It's just kind of fun to people watch.
Yep, yep. I'll say, yeah, I'll make you can head on down the main way, and I'll say make a perception check as you're
Sure.
kind of walking down.
Let's see if this one's any better.
Come on, baby.
Okay,
Okay,
a
better.
little bit.
It is
Yeah.
better. Uh, I will say first, now that you're kind of looking at the northern docks, a lot of these buildings are painted a light blue color, which, I mean, they are in the northern docks, so you can only imagine that it's because it's next to the water. But as you're just kind of near the northern docks, it is a lot louder, even though you are probably a good, like, half a mile away from where you think the Tents of Luck are. I'll say with your perception check, you can hear that it's like, you know, it's like it's like when like if there's like a football game or something, there's like a
I was gonna
football
say it's a good,
stadium,
it's a
right?
healthy murmur of a crowd.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell
Yeah.
that there's something over there, that in the direction
Cool.
of the Tents of Luck. You can definitely tell that. But I would say, uh, yeah, the buildings in the northern dock are blue. But you also just kind of generally with your perception check as you're making your walk, you're not noticing as many people on the street. You know, people are not dressed like really fancy, but they are not wearing any like kind of tattered clothes. You know, there's lots of different, you know, varieties of clothes. You stand out a lot less in this place. Like, yeah,
Okay.
your get
Well,
up is still kind of, you know, it's out there, but
yeah.
it wouldn't be weird to see another person in a blue cloak and a pointy hat. You know, it wouldn't be out of
Interesting.
place to see that.
Well, that's kind of problematic. I mean, I have to look like the best person on the street, the most interesting one. So
Yeah.
the sooner I get, this was a mistake to come down this way.
Okay.
Um. Anyway, I'll just continue to the docks. I mean, I'm curious to see what the big hubbub's about.
All right. As you travel down the path, you start to see it is starting to get a little bit hubbubby. Uh, and as you're approaching, you see, you know, it is like a huge circus tent, right? You know, the very typical kind of that sway up as, you know, kind of up to a point, right? You see in front of you a
Yeah.
large purple topped, you know, cloth circus tent, but there are lots of little ones around. But it seems to be there's this huge one in front of you, and there are lots of people in this area. Now it's not like packed like sardines, but you know it's as if if you've been to like a festival before. It is
Yeah.
well, not even that, like not even a festival, because I can imagine that gets pretty packed. But you get what I'm saying. Like it is the ground here. I'll put it this way: the ground here does not have any grass on it at all. It has been, you know, stomped on so much that it is kind of just this compact dirt from, you know,
So there's just been a lot of people that have been coming through here
yes, yeah. And
for a
it
decent
is,
amount of time.
yeah, it is, it seems to be a pop in place. And as you're approaching, this is where you start to see other people that are, you know, instead of sitting on the ground on a rug or something, they have like a little desk or a little tent. And I will tell you that there are, you know, you had, you have kind of a variety of things that you can do on your, like tarot readings or, card tricks, right? You have like a list of different things for different items.
Oh,
For most of the
yeah.
people here, it is just one thing that they seem to do. It is just, on the front of their table, it is like, you know, tarot readings or, you
Fucking
know,
bunch of amateurs. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I got it. It's
Yeah.
either like, oh, what's your fortune? Or tarot
Yep.
readings, or
Yep.
guess what, ball the
Yeah, exactly.
bowl the
Exactly.
ball is under. Okay.
Yes. And that is as
Absolute
you're approaching, that's kind of on the
novice
street,
crap.
on the street,
Okay.
just various things, but also, you can see within the tent, you can now hear that there's music playing. It is kind of like a little
It's a little
it
carnival.
seems it seems yeah, it's like a carnival. It seems like a place that is popping off, but it does there's no
Okay.
big attractions around. It is just,
Gotcha. It's
you know,
not.
you
It's
would
just
have to
kind of like
look
an
for something
amalgamation of all
specific.
these. I get
Yep.
it. It's kind of just like a bunch. It's like walking through a theme park, and
Yep.
in between the rides, they just kind of fill it in with the different games. Okay.
Yep. It is exactly like
Uh,
that.
interesting. Well, I want to see what's in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Is it just kind of more the same, or is it a ring?
And yeah, so as you walk in, kind of on the edge of the tent, right, just around, kind of facing out, there are more of these booths, and there are a lot of copy cats, right? Like, it's not like, oh, there's like one fortune place. Like, there's like a fortune
Oh,
place, and then you walk like,
oh my
like a
God.
100 feet, and there's just another fortune place, and like some do catch your eye, but not because they're unique in what they're providing, but a unique in visual display. You're seeing,
Yeah.
they're trying to get your attention, right? And so some of them do succeed in that. Like they look over
Okay.
because there's like a big burst or something, and you look over and someone's like shot out a little confetti cannon or something like that. Like you get the point. It's like everybody's trying to get your attention,
This
but
is
as yeah,
this
it's a
is
wild place.
this is embarrassing. This
Yeah.
is just pitiful that people limit themselves to one
Mhm.
trick to
Mhm.
not explore the different magical arts and provide for the common populace. This is just pointing. But I'm inclined to see what type of magic these folks actually use.
Mhm.
Among the people that you said were kind of unique,
Mhm.
is there anyone doing card tricks that stand out?
You have seen some people do card tricks, but I will say that make a perception check if you're specifically looking for card trick people,
I'm
I'll
look
say.
I'm looking for just something that I could recognize and do.
Mhm.
Uh, do this your perception check. It's the third time I've rolled it. Let's keep getting a little
Mhm.
higher one.
Come on, let's get higher. Okay.
That's an 11.
Yeah, we keep getting higher.
Let's go.
Uh
We're getting higher.
yeah. I will say that you do notice what stands out to you about this guy is he is at this booth, and this is at the edge of this big purple tent. And as you're kind of getting closer,
Okay.
you see that there are tents like to the side, like big tents, like you can see on the map, like the light blue ones. You can see that there's smaller tents, but this purple one seems to be the main one. But you see off to the side where you see a little boy kind of run away from this table, and there's some of these places have a little crowd in front of them because they're trying to do some tricks or something. But this one table, it stands out because there is no one there, and it's just a guy uh, sitting there with a what color cloak would it be? Second, Hmm, what the heck, dude?
It's blue with stars and moons all over it. And he wears a big pointy hat and a fake beard.
That'd be fun.
And I asked, "What's his name? What's your name?" And he
Uh,
goes, "Aldo, Aldo
okay.
the Amazing."
He's wearing a white robe, with
Oh,
his head or his hood pulled up, but you can see that there's this kind of long, his long
oh,
grayish beard in front, and he's just
okay.
sitting there shuffling cards. And there's everybody on these tables or these little tents are just decked out with stuff, but it really is just this blank wooden table and with a little sign hanging off the front of it that says cards. Not card tricks, but
Oh,
just cards.
just cards.
Yeah, and so it stands out as being incredibly unique.
Hmm.
And it's not
There's no
like
fact
it's
that.
yeah, he's not getting like it's not like no one's going to him. It's just you notice it at a time where there's kind of a lull in someone approaching.
Okay. Well, I stroked my beard a little bit, move it back into place because it kind of goes crooked.
Mm-hmm.
I say, that girl in the street wasn't very good. Let's see if the people in the tent can meet another level.
Mm.
And I walk over to him. I say, "Hello, hello. My name is Alden the Amazing. Who might you be?"
Right. Do you want to see a
Rah.
card trick?
I'd love to. I love card tricks. They're my favorite type of magic.
Hmm.
How old does this guy look?
He
Can I see
looks
underneath the hood?
Yeah, as you get closer, he looks like he looks like he's in his 30s, but he looks much older. Like as you're looking at him, he just looks tired is the best way I can put it. But make another perception check. I know we keep doing perception checks, but make a
Sure.
perception check
Okay.
as you're kind of just looking at this guy trying to inspect him. Okay, we just
Okay.
keep going up.
But actually, too, just keep improving. It's a long-term investment.
Yeah, exactly. You notice that his eyes are kind of grayed over, and he's not really staring at you. He's kind of staring through you. And as you notice, kind of just with his movements, he doesn't seem to be looking at anything particular. So you kind of get the sense that
Yeah, he's
he may be blind or at least hard of seeing. But he looks young, but
okay.
uh, he looks somehow incredibly like tired. Like it doesn't look like your typical like 60-year-old, but he gives off the vibe of a 60-year-old, right? Excuse me, right? Where he looks tired. There's bags under his eyes, but he is
Yeah.
just staring dead forward.
Hey, card magic takes a lot out of you. Uh,
uh,
but I go, yes, I'd love to see what you can do. How much do you charge anything?
he says, "I can tell that you're from not around here. First one's free."
So is the burst. Must be everything in this city. Except for the inn, it
Yeah,
seems. But
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Uh, he
Or
he says, "You like card tricks? Is there anyone you want to see in particular?"
no, I just want to see what you. Show me your favorite.
Hmm. And uh, I will roll him a perception check. Let me pull up his little thing. Get to roll my little special dice.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. They rolled a natural 18, so that's pretty fucking good.
Jesus.
Uh,
Yeah, damn.
yeah, I will say as he's uh the card tricks are in front of him, and again he's sitting just kind of straight up, just looking forward. So his hands start moving without him really moving his head at all. And as he is shuffling around the cards and he's doing some kind of fancy stuff, but at one point he does a card. It's not really a trick, but it's more of a shuffle that you've never seen before, where he splits the deck in two, and then with his thumbs shoots up the cards into the air, and they
Oh my
fly
god.
up into the air and they land right in the center of the table, kind of stacking on top of each other. And he's like, it's
Oh.
not back and forth, but he's doing like left, left, right, right, or left, right, left, right. Like
Oh.
he's mixing them up, and
Oh.
then with the final card, he flicks it up into the air, and it kind of make a perception check for me again.
Alden's sitting there like,
Shoot.
oh god. I'm like, Alden's good, but damn, this guy's a pro.
Right, but hey, you still rolled well. You notice that he mutters something under his breath, and you're a user of, you've been a magician, so you know to kind of look out for those. you know you're obviously your eyes are supposed to be drawn up to this final card because it flies high in the air, but you're kind of using
Yeah.
both of your attention, and you notice that he's muttering something under his breath, and he kind of does like a little hand wave motion, as the card kind of flips in midair and slowly floats to the ground. Doesn't like fall to the ground like the other ones do, and it lands on top. And I forgot to do the pick a card thing, but you picked a card. I'll say like at the beginning of the trick, and it lands, and it is your card.
Oh.
He says nothing.
I just kind of like sweat a little bit because now I'm realizing this guy's in bullshitting. He's using actual magic. Like that was I've never seen that before. That was incredible. Uh,
Would you like to see another?
you know, no, I'm fine. But you might not be able to tell by looking at me, but
Hmm.
I am a practicer of magic. I'm a wizard myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I just have to ask, what kind of spellcraft did you study to learn such a thing?
Let me see what school of magic that is. 1 second. But I'll say that he says, uh, hmm, I'll say that what the, oh, okay, here's all the schools. That's what I was looking for. It says, well, in school I studied conjuration, but that was not this kind of magic. I learned this on my own.
That's impressive. Self-taught, huh? Wow. No school required, huh? Wow. Big shot. I mean that is really impressive. That you learned this without, having to go to any academy. Um,
What did you go to?
I, well, a number of schools, but it's not important. My next question, I guess my last question is just, you know, are you all part of the same organization here? Is there like a ringleader, or what kind of establishment is this?
He tilts his head for the first time, and he says, "Are you looking to get in?"
Maybe I like I said, love my magic tricks,
He
and I'd
kind
love to
he kind of cuts you
show
off, and he
my.
says, "James, you just got to talk to James. He's at the center of the ring."
Okay, well, thank you, Ryan. I will go do that. And again, wonderful magic trick, wonderful.
Thanks.
And I walk away, and I just go, holy shit. I thought it was a big shot in the lower end, but oh my god. These guys are the real deal. This isn't some, you know, man, I gotta work on my act. I gotta work on my magic.
uh,
Tough.
uh,
If I'm gonna make it here, I gotta have my own living here. Oh, they're gonna poach Amelia before I can even get a quarter.
I gotta start throwing up cards in the air.
Yeah.
So do you head to the center, or do you what would you like to do else in the tents of luck?
In real life, I kind of want to think this over because this seems like just kind of a prime opportunity to do something with it. I'm just not clever enough to think of anything on the fly. Um, I
That's
am
okay.
curious. I do want to talk. I just say like I'm not going anywhere in like anytime soon. I want to come back and figure this out because why are there so many of the same table over and over again? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? So I don't know. Maybe I will go talk. I don't know. Let me think it over. I'm gonna
Okay.
head to. Well, I've really just been humbled. Like this is just kind of disappointing me.
Mm-hmm.
I came in here being like, oh yeah, oh wow, you're all so talentless. You can only do one thing, and then I see one act, and I'm like, wow, okay, well, that one thing they do is really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna kind of go think it over and maybe check out that shop to see if I can come back with anything that would really, sell. I don't want to work under somebody. I'm too good for that. Hell, I'm
Mm-hmm.
Alden the Amazing. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna I'm not gonna, contract myself out to this tent where I'm not gonna stand out.
Mm-hmm.
If they want me to work here, I have to be the main attraction. So I need to like set up a game plan,
Mm.
and I'm gonna think about it while I walk to Brog's.
Okay. So you're just heading Brogs just to see what Brogs is all about.
I just the name is
Yeah.
chanting it.
I
I
fuck
imagine
it.
is it in the vicinity of Todd's Oddities?
It is Todd's Oddities is towards the north. It's in the
Oh, holy
lower
fuck! I
end.
missed that completely. I walked past that entirely.
That's okay.
Uh, well, you know, I'll go down to the burst and then kind of like maybe glide myself over to Todd's Oddities. All right,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I'm going to Brock's.
Okay, you're going to Brogs. All right, sounds good. Uh, I will say, as you are leaving, you're kind of, looking at the other acts and the other card tricks. Let me roll for something for shits and giggles. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm glad that the gods are on my side. But as you're kind of looking, as you're walking out, one you see one table that is also doing card tricks, where he's trying to do that. You're like looking over at him, and he's trying to do that thing where you squeeze the cards and the cards kind of fly out, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he's trying to catch in the other hands. He completely fucks it up and spews the cards out into the street in front of you. And the look of panic on his face kind of ensues, and he quickly goes and tries to collect all the cards, but it's all in the dirt that people have stomped in, so they've definitely gotten like
God.
dirty. And like there's one that kind of flew far away, so he's got to crawl over there. So it does, you know, it reminds you in this moment that they're not all that good, as good as Rye, but
How
in
many
that.
people were around him when he was doing that trick?
I would say there's like 3 or 4 people that were watching
Oh
him do
my
this trick,
god.
like a little family.
Are y'all doing the meeting now? Hang on, we're doing the meeting.
Oh.
Okay, so some schmuck just dropped all of his cards on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even realize you could be hired for card tricks. This is complete news to me. Uh, and to see someone desecrate what I hold as a dear art to me because it
Yeah.
validates my ability as a it validates me as a magician, infuriates me to no end. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to this schmuck on the ground and I go, "Where's James?"
uh, where's James? Like the leader
Where's
guy?
was it James or Chains?
It was James, is what the guy said.
Where's James?
Like like James with a ch. Uh,
Yeah.
this guy looks up at you. He looks like he's in his like 20s or something. He looks up at you. Uh, James.
Yes.
He's under the big tent, probably in the
I
center.
look up. Oh, this one. I didn't know I was outside of it. Say work on your act, and then I walk in back into the big tent straight towards the center.
Yes. uh, he has a shocked look on his face, a little bit worried. He doesn't know who you are. Doesn't know if you're under James or something. So you head
Yeah.
straight towards the tent. So, like on the edge of the tent was all these different, booths and tables. But as you approach and get within the tent, uh, it is, it's blocking out the sun. It's in the morning, right? It's like 10 or 11 in the morning or something like that. You It is blocking out the sun, and there are no torches around, so it's only kind of ambient light within here. So even though it is still bright outside, it was nice and sunny. It is now kind of much, darker in here, and
Yeah.
all of the
Dim.
sounds from out there are kind of blocked off by a lot of the tables. And now that you are within the tent, you this is a large tent. This is, probably like 300, 400 feet wide, right?
Big top.
This is a big top, right? And so all around, you notice as you're kind of walking forward, it's kind of dug into the ground a little bit. There is, the ground slopes down, and there are, it's kind of just this nice, it's not much grass, it's mostly dirt at this point, but it kind of slopes in for maybe like 50 feet all around the entire circle. And as you're looking, it kind of goes down, and then there is a large, what you would imagine, circus ring, right? Like we're talking, there's probably like a little wooden wall to prevent you from going, like, but it's only like 3 feet tall, so you can still look within. And then
Mhm.
and this slope down there is practically no one. Maybe there's some people milling around the slopes, like a family or two, and they're kind of like pointing at like, oh, how big this top is. But it doesn't seem to be, doesn't appear to be any
It's a
circus
really
going
big
on.
tent, Mama. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Uh, yeah, there doesn't appear to be any circus happening at this moment. Like there's no show, right? And as you head towards the center, probably you're walking towards it, and towards the left side, leaning against the wooden wall, talking to another individual. You see who you can only imagine to be James. This is a uh, make a nature check for me, dude.
Oh.
This
Oh.
this is
Nature.
recall knowledge, dude. You're gonna see if you've ever
Getting
seen something like
into it.
this, seen this shit ever
I hope
before,
it's
dude.
just a dwarf. I got a 0 in nature. I don't know what this guy is. I'm gonna
No,
be so confused right now.
no.
Yep.
Yeah, you have never fucking seen this before, so you have no idea even what uh, they would be called. But you see James, and they are uh, this large creature. I would say they're 8, 9 feet tall, and wearing a long white robe,
Christ.
just uh, much like Rye was wearing, right? This white robe, but across it there are uh, these light blue and light purple, much like the colors of the tops of the tents that you've seen, swirls across it. But it is this large humanoid creature, but with the head of a fox. And this, since
Oh
this creature's like 8 feet tall, it's like, it's like a big head.
God, I was not
And
expecting this. Uh,
and it has tails that from underneath the robe behind it, you kind of see it from its left profile. Uh, its tails, it has three separate tails that kind of go underneath the cloak and then go up, and these are impossibly long. Like they're like they're like Slender Man long. Like they are, they curl up underneath and then go
yeah.
up probably about 5 or 10 feet above his head
God,
or their
Jesus.
head.
Okay.
And they are just floating around aimlessly. And, but, as you're just looking at, this creature of a person basically, but this is not some, this is not a monster in front of you. This is someone who's just talking to another person, but it is you've never seen
I
this
definitely stop in my
ancestry
yeah.
before. Yeah,
I definitely stop in my tracks. I was kind of marching like Karen to go see the manager,
yeah.
infuriated by the shameful acts I saw out
Mhm.
there, desecration of the fine art, and
Mhm.
now I'm just kind of taken aback. And also, Rye was just kind of like, "Oh, you want in? Go talk to
Mhm.
What is going on here?" So
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk up to James and be a little bit more tempered
Mhm.
in what I was gonna say.
Okay. And I'll say he finishes his conversation with and yeah, this this
Yeah,
creature's this I'll put it this way: this creature's pronouns are they, but
they.
you'll see quickly why I keep switching these things around. But yeah, so they finish their conversation uh, with whoever they were talking to, and they appear to. Oh yeah, and as soon as they finish their conversation, one of their tails goes behind and reaches within, just like within his their cloak, like down their back, grabs something and pulls out a clipboard for them to hold, and they reach down and they start writing down
Ugh.
something.
Okay. Something, huh? So I walk up to it and go, "Are you James?"
They this big head, this thing, like you're looking up at it, like 2 feet
Huh?
above you. They look over and they say, "Yes, I am James."
Well, my name is Alden the Amazing, and I have a few questions for you.
Hmm, I have answers.
First off, what the hell is this? What show are you running out there? 50 variations of the same goddamn trick? I mean, honestly, I practiced this art day in and day out, and certainly I was impressed with young Rye, or I don't know how old he really is, but Mr. Rye's performance, it was astounding. But then as by way how I saw it, just an absolute mockery of art trick magic. Honestly, and then honest, what is going on? Who are you? What is this? How did I just? It's disgraceful.
The whole time they are nodding their heads slowly, and it's like I can't, it's like when something's I can only imagine, like, I'm only thinking of, like, it's like fluid movement, like,
Yeah.
the, the dancer in Dark Souls 3. Like, it's
Oh,
like
okay. It's
this,
ethereal. It's
yeah,
almost yeah.
it's like the head nods, or like, it's not like nodding like this. It's like this slow movement, and the
Spotting.
tails, the tails behind.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
So it's
obvious,
floaty. It's like
yeah, it's
smoke.
very floaty. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the perfect word for it. It's very floaty. But they are nodding along with your whole spiel, and they say, "Are you done?"
I mean, yeah. Yeah. That's why I
Ah,
stopped talking.
wonderful. Uh, well, all are welcome into the tents of luck, as you can see. And they look around, kind of back and forth slowly, and they look back to you. Uh, Anyone is able to do whatever they would please in order to try and make money here. Would you like to join?
Oh, how much money?
They say there is no price requirement. It is whatever that you wish to try and make.
You're just kind of providing a home for the talented and talentless, and you take a little off the top, or
I do not need money.
I'm very confused. I'm very confused right now. Normally, you take a cut, but okay. Uh, I mean, obviously, I haven't. My legacy fame hasn't reached these parts, but I myself am. I'll give you the whole spiel. I myself am a purveyor of the card arts.
Uh,
I'm a magician, a great one in that, and
and they slowly raise their hand as if to, and it's
yeah.
this paw, that of like a
I go,
fox.
yeah, that's yes, you're right, and I give him a high five.
They
Thank you.
slowly like look at their paw, and they go back down, but they say, uh, uh, you're looking at them, and then suddenly their eyes kind of flash white for a second, and they say, "I know of you, Alden the Amazing. You do not
Yep,
need to tell me."
indeed, really. Eh, How? What do you? What do you know me from? If I, what venue, city, what act?
They say, "Well, if someone were to ask you that question, you would say the same answer I will give. You're from many cities, all around, wouldn't you say?"
Certainly. I travel, get around. Don't stay in one place for too long.
Yes. Well, if you would like to be here for just a short excursion, like in your other cities, I will happily provide you a space. But if you're looking for something longer term, then maybe I would work on your act.
Face turns bright fucking red at that one. Do you know how long I've studied the
Years.
arts my whole life? And
Mm.
you take one glance at me with your flashy little eyes and think you know everything about me, huh? Really? Work on my act. I'm insulted. I'm disgusted. Frankly, obviously pursuing the concept of quantity over quality here. Give me. I'm. I'm going to tear down your little empire one temple at a time until this area is known nothing more than Alden the Amazing's grand circus.
And they say, "Ah, ooh, let me think real quick about what they say." They say, "Ah, just like how you will beat Michael then." And their tails from behind kind of quickly whoosh in front of them. And then as kind of their tails pass in this X pattern, like the two on the sides cross in front of this X pattern, suddenly from in front of you, these two tails are still behind, but you see Michael in front of you.
Like an illusion? What?
And Michael, however in your mind Michael is dressing in, like whenever the last time that you've seen Michael dressed in exactly the same way, and you hear out of Michael's mouth, you hear the same voice of James, and says, "Just like your brother, are you going to take me down like you are going to take him down?"
Like, oh, you want to be the James? And I walk away.
The tails swipe in front of him, or in front of them again, and the fox is back, and they say, "Come back if you would like a spot under the tents of luck."
Fuck you! And I walk away.
And you walk. Where do you walk to?
Well, now I really walk to Brog's. I'm huffing and puffing all the way there.
Yeah.
I hope he has like a drink or something there because I need to sit there and think about how I'm gonna utterly obliterate the sense of luck.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Fucking pathetic. Honestly.
uh,
I'm gonna hire the most talentless, embarrassing, worthless card players on the planet and make a whole spiel about it. Oh, I'm so welcoming. Oh, everyone's welcome. That's insulting, don't you think? I mean, honestly, really. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, welcome to the museum. Hey, this is where we put the fingerprints next to the art pieces. Oh, everyone's welcome here. Embarrassing. A whole mockery of the entire, concept. Truly disgusting. Stupid fox flicking down at me with his big head. I could snap him like a twig. Anyway, I'm just saying things like
yeah,
that
it
all
is
the way to
marching down
Brog's.
the street. I fucking love it. All right, you're a little angry and a little disturbed after seeing your brother randomly. Some crazy fucking magic happening there.
I,
So
I,
you, yeah.
I don't like comparing things to other things,
Mm-hmm.
but I think just as a good baseline, the way I describe Alden's relationship with Michael is like Squidward and Squilliam.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, that just kind of goes without saying. But
Yep.
Squidward is even less talented in um, in a state of denial all the
Mm-hmm.
time. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Well, yeah. But as you leave the tents of luck, uh, you do you take the same path back, kind of like retrace your steps?
I'm just going to Brog's.
Well,
Where
yeah.
I
I'm
want to
just
be.
saying.
Uh,
Would you go back the same way, and because of that, would you pass the
I don't want to see
the
nobody.
mockery?
I'm
Yeah.
going I'm going back out from the street that I came in on, and then
Okay.
instead of going all the way up and around, I'm gonna take that right that leads
Mm-hmm.
me towards the burst, and then go
Yep.
up towards the Sleepy Inn, walk down that street, and then
Okay.
up and
Okay.
right to Brog's.
Gotcha. Yeah. As you're more in Central Burst, I'll say, just now that you're kind of within it, it seems to be popping off a lot more. It is around like maybe like 11 in the morning, like it's getting later in the morning,
Okay. Yeah,
and
people are out and about.
yeah, that people
Moving the
are out
group.
and about, and once again, it is not as seemingly lower quality as lower end. But as you were walking, you make your way to Brog's. Just name value alone, something about this place. As you approach Brog's, as you can kind of see on the map, there is a, based off of, there's an intersection right here about where there is like a map that you can see, and you can see that there is a smallish building, I'd say like, 30, 20, 25, 30 feet across, and, a little bit longer, but it's kind of this smaller building compared to all the other ones around it. And right above it, you see a sign carved in that just says Brogs.
I go in.
Okay, you walk in and you see a completely empty room. The only thing within this room, there's no like extra rooms. The building itself is the room. And the only thing you see, I'll say, is right directly in front of you at the other wall is what looks to be like some trap door of sorts. And then a guy leaning against the wall, sitting on a stool, like, sitting on a stool, leaning against the
I
wall,
just go,
holding.
what the hell? How does this keep happening? Because I did this at the Shadow Room yesterday. I went to an
Yes.
empty room and there was nothing there.
All of the rooms in Ridak are just empty. There's
Why
no.
is there? Why are there so many vacant rooms? Anyway, all
You,
right.
you see a guy sitting on a stool, kind of leaning up against the wall, and holding a clipboard. And he looks up and he says, uh, "Welcome to Brog's. What do you need?"
Are you fucking kidding me? No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
What do you
I
say?
go, what? I'm just, this city stinks. I go, what do you have? Do you have beer? Do you have alcohol? I need a drink. It's 11 a.m. for Christ's sakes.
He says, "Well, are you on the list?"
Well, of course I am. Don't you know who I am?
Uh, he says, he kind of looks down and he says, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not really good with faces. What's your name?"
See that clipboard, and I walk over to him. What is this guy? Is this just a human?
This is like maybe he's late teens, like
Oh, okay.
early 20s, just like, kid basically, like just this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a male human,
Okay.
just a,
Well,
late teenager.
I walk over to him. I just kind of want to like snatch the clipboard out of his hands.
Okay. You are able
Yeah.
to do this, yeah, easily. You are much stronger than him.
Okay. I'm gonna read down the list, and whatever like a middle name is just in the middle of the sheet, I'm just gonna say there, right there, and I repeat it back to him.
Okay, yeah, you do the same. His eyes go wide, and he says, "Oh, no, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. Just you can go down." And he goes to the trapdoor really quick, and opens it up. Big. There's like 3 foot by 3 foot trapdoor, opens it up towards the wall, and as you can see, there is just a ladder heading down this little vertical tunnel, just heading down. And he says,
There's alcohol down there, right?
"Yeah, well, yeah, it's Brog's. Yeah, you can. Yeah, there's alcohol. Can I have my clipboard back, please?"
I just kind of like throw it towards him and start climbing down.
He said, "Please,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry." And he closes.
Worst bouncer ever.
He closes the trap door, and you head
And he
down a
fucking
ladder.
brags.
Yeah, you head down you head down a ladder for probably about 50 feet,
Oh my
and
god.
and as you turn around, you get down to the base, and as you're getting down, it's kind of getting lighter and lighter, and as you get to the base, you turn around, and after like a short little kind of archway thing, you see in front of you a a really large room, but it's a cave. It's all made out of stone, and it's this long cave that I'd say maybe is like 50 feet across, or yeah, 50 feet across in terms of width, but length is probably 100, 200, 300 feet. It's a very long cave in front of you, and you see just tables just all throughout. These large wooden tables, kind of you'd think in like a tavern or something. As you've
Yeah.
been going down, you kind of hear this music. It's a very bassy music. It's like a bass and maybe a drum. There's not a lot of like violins or anything like that. It's a very a boom 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 kind of music
Yeah.
as you come down. But there's not a lot of people here. But you see there are just a whole bunch of tables. Some tables have like a group of people, some don't. And you see all the way at the end, there is just there is a bar that is kind of the length of
Okay.
the back wall.
What does the crowd that's here kind of look like? Are they seedy? Are they upstanding? Average?
Yeah, make a perception check
There was a
for me.
list to get in.
Yeah,
Uh, a what check?
a perception check just to
Perception.
as you're kind of glaring on in.
Sure. Got to hang out with a bunch of troglodytes.
Yeah, they're I would say it's like these people certainly aren't, this Broggs is kind of on the edge of the lower end, right? These people do not appear to look like they're, of the same crowd for sure. They're definitely, more upstanding. But in terms of as you're walking through Central Ridak and those kinds of people, you're not seeing as many wild variety of clothing or people. All these people are very middle class kind of people is what kind of just the instinct that you glean off these people. But there's some tables that are like packed with like 6 or 8 people around, and some just have one person sitting alone. Maybe there's like a couple or two, but it's like 11 a.m. you know there's it's not doesn't seem to be popping off that much. But as you're kind of just peering around, suddenly from one of the big tables, maybe in front of you to the left a little bit, you see one of the guys stands up, and it's this older elf guy, and he stands up and he's like, "Brog!" And from behind the counter that you see across, like maybe like 100 feet in front of that table, from the counter, you see. Let me get up the description of Brog. Good old Brog.
Oh my god.
You, Brog. Yep. You see. Why is it so fucking hard to find these people, dude? Let me. I got the table of contents for a reason. Okay, much easier to find in that way. Yeah, you see, you all fought a bugbear, in the forest to save Ron Rongle. You see a bugbear, but much shorter and more stout. Kind of a heavier set bugbear, but still just as hairy. This guy is probably like 5.5 feet tall, whereas most bugbears are like 8 feet tall. Right, they're much shorter in comparison. He's got a dirty chef apron on, right? It was white at one point, but it's got like different stains on it. But he's got simple clothes underneath that. But he comes running over. He's got kind of a funny run. He comes running over to the table, and they exchange some words, and he kind of runs back to the kitchen. It seems like Brog. You holler for Brog, and Brog will come.
This city is so. Don't even know what to think anymore. Uh,
Welcome to Brog's,
okay.
dude.
Well, I'm just gonna sit down at a table or a seat at the bar.
Okay.
And,
If you go, if as you look at the bar, there are no seats at the bar. Interestingly enough. It's just a
Okay.
bar, but there's no seats, but there's
I'm,
tables everywhere.
I'm starting to get the gimmick of this restaurant. Okay. Well, uh, I go over to a table then, just
Mm-hmm.
by myself, and just kind of sit there and pout.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wait until that guy Brog comes back with the other guy's beer, and then
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
while Brog is delivering it, I'm gonna go Brog.
Yep. Uh, how do you say it? Do you just call it out, or do you do it really forcefully?
Well, once he's done, I just go, yeah. I just kind of a mix, not like just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like irritated,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like Brog,
Yeah.
Brog.
Upset. Brog, it's like almost comically, like is running back to his kind of station, and then you say it, so he kind of like jumps up and turns towards you, and then starts, kind of barreling
It's
over.
just the most inefficient business.
he, he said, "Hey, what can I do for you, mate?"
I just want an ale, big ale,
An
big
ale,
as they come.
as big as they come.
Yeah.
That'll be a silver if you can give it to me.
Okay. All right. How much ale can I get for like 2 copper?
For 2 copper. Well, not the biggest as you said, but you can still get probably a pint.
All right. Yeah, I'll get a pint. Yep. I don't know what I
All
was
right.
thinking.
Yep. A pint. I'll get you a pint coming right back. And he runs on over, and to the right of the bar, you now see that there is kind of like a doorway to the right on the back wall, and people every once in a while people come out and they put down like a plate of food on the bar, uh, and as after Brog gets your ale, he's like, "Oh, here you go." He hands it to you. He goes and gets these plates and then goes and brings it to someone else. So appears like Brog is the is the sir, but he's very
Oh,
jolly about it. He loves this. He's
he's
like,
the only waiter. Oh my god.
he,
Why
he,
is it in a cave? Why do you have to climb on a ladder?
he
So many
seems
questions. So I'm
he
just gonna
seems
sit
to
there with
love
my
it.
head in my hands,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna think. And while I'm thinking, how can I get back at that bastard box at the Tents of Luck?
Hmm.
What can I do to destroy his little empire? And my mind goes back to all the homeless people I saw
Hmm.
in the lower end begging for
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yep.
And I think about Amelia and how I
Mm-hmm.
taught her a magic trick so she could go make more money.
Yep.
I said, that's it. What if it's finally time to open a school of my own and prove my act? I'll show you, you son of a bitch. There's nothing to improve. There's only things I need to teach. And I pull out like a just a scroll and some
Mm-hmm.
pen and just whatever I have on hand and start writing things down.
Mm-hmm.
And I start writing down just a bunch of card trick names that I know.
Okay.
Just thinking like, all right, what's like some of the easiest ones I can teach to people? What are some real
Mm-hmm.
stunners? What's some real flourishes? All the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sit there in the dark cave thinking about how many homeless people I'm about to have to go out and hire.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not hungry. Um, and just simmer. But I don't want that. No. Thanks. Anyway, where
Well,
to leave?
uh,
Uh,
speaking of hunger,
yeah.
Brog comes up to you and says, You want anything to eat there, mate?"
No, I already ate today, and I don't have much of an appetite.
"Ah, well, if you need anything, you just holler." And he runs off to somewhere else.
Frog,
Right, yep. What do you need, mate?
where's the bathroom?
Ah, it's off to the left there. And he points over to the other side where one door was the kitchen. There's another door on the other side that appears to be a bathroom.
Thanks. Yeah. So like, I don't know. For like the next like 2 hours, I'm just thinking about
Mm-hmm.
all the card tricks I can teach people, or like all like just the illusionary magic I can teach people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, I can't imagine a lot of these homeless people have cards of their own.
Mm.
So I'm thinking about Todd's oddities and how I should go there next. Fuck the burst. I know what that is.
Okay.
I can fly anytime I damn well want to. I have
Mm.
magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Todd's Oddities so I can buy like 10 packs of playing cards. How many people would you say were at the Tents of Luck?
I would say from what you saw, like that did cards or just people in general?
Just
Like
like the
booths.
booths. The booths, yeah.
Like easily 100 you probably saw.
Oh, fuck. Hell. Oh, shit. Well, there's a lot of homeless people, I imagine. All right. I'm going to show that little fox bastard that anybody can rum a stupid little, you know. It takes no talent.
Just steaming to yourself. Angry wizard.
I need to show this city that he's not special. What he does isn't special. Uh, okay. Well, 100 cards. Fuck me. That's a lot. All right, I'll start with like 10, and then I'll give him like a few days to earn a bunch of money, and then be like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm basically just gonna start a multi-level marketing scheme. Here,
Yep.
you get these cards, and then you get some money, and go tell your friends about, this is how you can make money by doing card tricks around, like, for kids, around schools,
Mm-hmm.
street performers, and then, have them get cards for their friends with the money they make, and just so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'll set up shop somewhere so like they send them my way, and then I teach them how to do it because I don't want the art to be diluted. Yep, this is a plan that's definitely going to happen, and I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to succeed. And
Yep.
yep, this is how it's going to be. And my
Oh
petty revenge fantasy is going to. I'll definitely have enough steam to see this all the way through.
I love how
So
Alden's
in
first thought
charisma.
is to get fucking 100 cards.
Okay, I finished my ale. I already paid
Mm-hmm.
for it. I took out the coppers in my backpack,
Yep.
and I walk back over to the ladder. Wait, first I use the bathroom, and
Okay.
then I go back up to the ladder,
Yep. Smart.
and then I crawl back out. Yep.
Yeah, the bouncer's like, have a nice day.
Say, why was there a list?
What?
There's no
Well,
one down there.
well, only certain people can come to Bronx.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of them. Just you know.
Well, I don't ask too many questions of Brog's, but or too many questions of Brog, but he hands me the list every morning, and I
You
make sure
know,
that only people on the list go in.
I have not had to make any sort of. What would persuasion fall under? Deception? Performance?
Like, yeah, persuasion. I think. Oh no, it's diplomacy. That's
Oh,
what it's.
diplomacy.
It's kind of, yeah.
Okay.
You kind of win someone over, but no, you
All
haven't had
right.
to make anything against this guy.
I have a +4 to intimidation. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Mhm.
I don't know how Alden's intimidating. I think it's just because of the mana
Just
exchange thing.
big. Yeah, just
This guy might stab me or something.
Yep.
He's clearly ill.
Yep.
Uh, all right. And then I head towards Todd's Oddity.
All right,
Going on a
you're it.
shopping spree. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
get like 10 packs of cards, and then like a virus gonna spread throughout the city, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
show these fucks at the tents of fucks that they're not impressive.
Oh, you just fucking spread propaganda. The tense of fuck.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so you're off to Todd's Oddities.
Oh,
All right, as you are heading towards where John, down the road, kind of the general area. Once again, you are able to spot a sign that is pointing to Todd's Oddities, and you. The reason why you're just kind of easy to spot it, you don't even need a perception check to try and look for it, is because much like the Shadow Room, all these signs have various, a lot of them are just brown or just made of wood and they're not painted at all. But this one is painted a bright yellow with white words on it. So it's kind of hard to read because it's awful contrast. But you see that Todd's Oddities is one way. And you make your way through. Do you make your way to Todd's Oddities?
I go in.
Follow
Yeah.
the signs, yeah. All right. So as you're following the signs, and this is the first time since going to the shadow room, kind of going in between buildings, right? And it certainly is less crowded, right? As you're heading in between the buildings. But unlike when you went to the shadow room, there are still people like milling around, and you see people outside of their houses, either doing, lawn work or something like that. You see them hanging clothes or, just sitting out on the back porch. So it's unlike the shadow room where, you go in and you're, it got very quiet around there and there just were less people. It's not the case as you're heading to Todd's Oddities. And as you get to Todd's Oddities, you see, much like the sign, and you can kind of sense that this is a theme throughout all of the special sign places that you see where it's different colors. You see a building. This is a cylindrical building, not very unlike all the other square ones around. You see a cylindrical building that is probably like 2 stories tall. I'd say it's like 20, 30, or, maybe even 3 stories tall, like 20, 30 feet up. It's just this cylinder, has like kind of a, cone top, and it's entirely painted yellow. And as you walk up, there are doors. There's like a door probably about every like 10 feet around this tower. And the tower, the building itself is probably like 50 feet wide. So there's a lot of doors just around Todd's Oddities, but above each one, kind of carved into the wood, is not very well carved. You see Todd's Oddities above each door.
I just want some playing cards. What the hell is going on with this? I gotta stop going to the places with names.
Places with names are kind of wild.
I just open a door. I just open a door, see what's behind it. Is there a room? Is there shelves? Is there a guy standing at the counter?
You open the door, and you are on. I wish this was just an empty room because that'd be fucking hilarious. But it's not.
I was gonna say it'd be really funny. It's just an empty room. It's gray and black. It's all gray. There's no color.
No, you enter, and within this tower, the first thing you notice is there is no. You're not like on the first floor of a tower. The roof goes all the way up to the top. You were just within this, 30-foot tall ceilings, very cathedral height ceilings.
Like a silo.
Yeah, you're just basically in a silo. Exactly, perfect. And as you walk in at the center, there's one of those circular desks, right? Like what there are in like the center of libraries and stuff like that. And you see standing in the center to be what you can only assume to be Todd. Is you see and let me look up this ancestry 1 second. Make sure I know.
Is he yellow like the building?
No, he is not.
Is it just the desk inside the building and nothing else?
No, there's other stuff.
Okay.
There's lots of other stuff.
Just, hey, welcome to Todd. Hey, welcome to Todd's. You got a list?
Welcome to Brog's. I love it. You see a catfolk. Yeah, I keep forgetting that it doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't have like a technical name in Pathfinder.
Oh,
But you see a catfolk, which you've seen around. It's definitely rarer. It's not a very common ancestry, but you do see a catfolk uh, who has who is wearing this, like, it's not like it's wearing a black leather jacket, but not in the way like a motorcyclist wears, right? It is just a tanned leather jacket, but it appears to be dyed black in some way, right? So
okay.
it's not like this shiny black that you would see.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
I
you know,
guess it's just kind of
yeah, it's
just
just
matte.
a dyed black jacket, and then
Like
you,
Minecraft.
yeah, exactly. And but his fur is completely white, except for his eyes are this piercing black, as a smile creeps across his face. But first, I'll explain what's actually all around you. So this is like a silo. So as you walked in, there are shelves that are built into the walls all across the entire building. And how you
Like
access
all the
those
way up.
shelves. Yeah, like all the way up. There's
Oh,
just rings of shelves with various items on them. And how you get to different shelves is there are within probably about like 10 feet within the building itself are these spiral staircases that are held up by some kind of wire or strings that are held up attached to the ceiling. So there are these several spiral staircases that kind of go around. That
yeah.
where if you want to get anything on any shelf, it's not like going up to a floor and going to it. You have to find with your eyes, if you know where that thing is. You have to follow where the spiral
Oh my
staircase go,
God.
and then gets on it. Right?
That
You can't
bastard
just.
at the bar. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind later. Just said toys. I just said toys. I meant simplistic, wooden, normal stuff. Points being. Oh. I don't even look at the cat. I don't even look at Todd. I side eye him. I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
There,
make that noise, but
I will say
yeah.
there are other people within
Okay,
Todd's
good.
oddities. You're not alone.
I thought it was just me. I thought he was just staring right at me.
No,
All
he
right.
he he smiles at you, and but does not say anything to you
Okay.
yet.
All right.
But you have just
Could
entered.
be
But there
normal.
are other
Could be
people.
normal. Go optimistic. All right. Well, on this first, before I go up any stairs, I'm gonna look around in this first area and just see if I can find like any playing cards whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
Some normal.
make a perception check for me. Just looking for some playing cards.
Okay. I gotta boost my I need to reload the page. Um, I'll just do RNG D20 and add a 6. Okay. I got a 12 plus 6 is 18.
All right. I'll say that you find various kinds of playing cards, right? With various the standard ones that you would maybe find, like the classic like diamond playing cards or whatever. The
Yeah.
those kind of just the brand normal, but then you see also some very colorful and fancy looking ones. And then you also, I'll say with your 18, I'll say that you found as you're browsing and just on this first level. I mean, the amount, it is oddities. There are just anything you could think of is probably
Yeah.
here, right? Like it is very various things. Like you're looking for wooden toys. You're finding things like that and more, but just all around. And as but you do find one playing card deck that is not like within a sleeve of any kind. It's just kind of sitting there, and they are normal playing cards. Like if you look at them, they're face up, so it's not like these are like tarot cards or something. But they're not in a sleeve, and they seem to be worn out. They seem to be like used. And this is definitely used. Whereas all the other stuff, could have been used maybe, but it doesn't look like it, right? This one is certainly just a used deck of cards just sitting kind of on a shelf.
So that's just kind of like it's just kind of a mix and match, almost like
Yeah.
a flea market then.
Yeah, it's
Less of a flea market, more of a garage sale.
yep, it is very much
All
like
right.
that.
Well, I don't know. I just kind of started picking up like the normal playing cards. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
go for the tarot stuff. That stuff isn't real. It's not real
Mm-hmm.
magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I get to if I can find like 10-ish around that,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the worn pack, the used one, and
Uh,
then
yeah, I'll say you'll have to go up a couple stairs to kind of look for more. It is very
okay.
kind of annoying, but I would say you're able to get 10. Not that it's not that difficult to find 10. There's certainly lots of different cards here.
All right. Yeah. Well, I just get like 10 packs,
Mm-hmm.
and I walk back down the stairs, and I go up to Todd. I
Mm-hmm.
say, how much for all this? Flop all the
Hmm.
cards on the table.
Todd, Todd, is very big in the movement because Todd was looking over at something when you approached, and instead of just looking over at you and like walking over, there's this very big, exaggerated, like, what are you
Okay, Jim
yeah.
Carrey ass movement. Okay.
That is fucking exactly how I describe it. It's in the description. Yeah, Jim Carrey movements. Looks over at it, and he's like, well, let me see. And he starts, like peering over it and like, kind of moving them around and, you know, kind of getting a grasp of all the stuff. And you said you've gotten like 10 cards, one of them being the not, what are they called?
Sleeveless.
The sleeveless one, yeah, the used one. That's what I was trying to get. Yeah, not new is
Yeah,
what I was.
used.
The used one, and he. I'm gonna say a number, but I want to see what the actual number should be. I just googled cards, like that's gonna give me what I want.
Yeah. USD to gold.
Yeah. I will say. I'll say, ooh. I'll say, two gold for all this. All this.
Oh,
This is what you want.
oh, oh, oh. Okay. I mean, it's just paper. Really? I mean, too
Do you say
gold.
that out loud?
Is my revenge really worth that much? Think about it. Think about all the
Uh,
money you can make from convincing homeless people to work for copper. I mean, it's
he
just an investment.
he kind of he kind
Obviously,
of looks he kind of looks at your face and he says, "Well, this is just see. I can see. I can see that you're. Ooh, I can see that you're kind of debating it. It's fine. It's fine. We can lower the price." And he picks up the used deck of cards and he says, this one alone was the 1 gold. So if you just want these 9, that'll
Oh,
only be 1 gold if you want."
oh, oh, back up, back up, back up. Why is that
Yes.
one worth so much?
Oh well, these are special, of course. And
Why?
he fans them out. He's not good at it, so he kind of just spews them out on the uh, table, and he says, "Well, you of course you use lots of cards you seem to want to buy so many. So obviously, you could tell that these are very special cards. Why, why else would they be 1 gold? Uh, and if you look at the cards, give me give me a perception check.
So can I take a closer look at them cards?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I do perception, like Arcana? Like, is it what do you want me to do here?
That is up to you. If Alden kind of gets the inkling that there may be something, for these to be expensive cards.
I'll change it up and do Arcana. I'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to see.
Change it up here.
Okay.
Okay, 16. Yeah.
Okay. Right in the middle of the range. What what you can tell about these cards after looking at them, and this is kind of like a perception check, but when he fanned out the cards, cards are inanimate objects, right? And so he fans them out and they should stay in place. But as you're kind of inspecting them, you sense that these are not inanimate objects. They seem to have some charm on them. And as you kind of get that sense and you peer towards them, you can see that one card maybe moves a little bit on its own, seemingly, like, kind of straightens itself out so it's even with the flush. And then you see, still in the other ones, and you're noticing, just as you're staring at them, you start to see these small movements. But before you can kind of look further at it, Todd, collapses them up kind of badly, so he has to smush them back together. But he says, "Yes, I can see. I can see based off your face that you can see that there's some value here. Yes, and you can see why they are worth 1 gold. Would you agree? Yes."
Yeah. I mean, magic cards. Wow. I'm really just distracted by your poor handling of them. But it doesn't matter. You know what? Swallow the 1 gold for the magic cards. We drop down to 8 silver for the rest.
8 silver for the rest. Make a. You can either make an intimidation or a diplomacy check. That's up to you how you want Alden to do it.
I have to figure out how I would actually intimidate him first. I'm not trying to threaten the guy, so diplomacy.
Okay.
I have a +0 to that, but I think it just sounds more right in this situation.
Yeah, we don't need to bring out the big guns yet. Ooh,
okay.
6. He says, well, see, the problem is that I said the original price was 2 gold, and that was already kind of getting low. So I think 2 gold is worth it. So 1 gold for the rest of the cards.
Okay. Well, here. How about this? Maybe if I tell you what I'm going to be doing with these cards, you'll be more inclined to give them to me just for the 8 silver. For the cheaper ones. Here, let me lay it out. I'm going to train a bunch of homeless people to learn how to do, illusionary magic with these cards, so they can make more money, so they can, go to a better place, and, I'm basically going to recruit them all. And I mean, once I have a large collection of followers, we're going to do some pretty wild stuff. You wouldn't want wild stuff happening to your fine yellow establishment, would you? And now I make an intimidation roll.
Yes, I'd say you can make an intimidation. You kind of lean in,
And I flex put on a little
the
bit.
gusto. Yeah, exactly. Put on the gusto behind it.
Okay, I'm using a hero point. Yeah,
no, that's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it.
If I get a 1, I'm gonna cry.
Okay, it's better.
God damn it!
It's better.
Damn it! That was Oh, he's gonna kick me out. I'm gonna get a higher price.
He's
Fine, fine. I'll just ask my parents for money. Fine.
uh he this guy, yeah, yeah, okay, this guy is a little bit on the shorter side. He's like 5 feet tall, so he certainly, you're certainly a lot bigger than him, and he looks intimidated by your size, but not intimidated per se by hearing that you're training a bunch of homeless people, and those people may get back at you at some day. He says, well, well, you see, I understand that you, and he's kind of looking like left and right towards like people around, but no one seems to be paying attention. He says, I understand that you want it for eight silver, but what about nine? Nine work?
Fine, I guess so. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, well, one gold, nine silver, and I will. You
Oh,
can
I don't
have
have
fun with
nine
your.
silver.
You can have fun with your little car. Well, oh, do you
Yeah,
have
I'll give
two
you the two
gold?
gold. You give me one silver. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
well, we
We
can
get
do
the same
this.
thing. Great.
Yep.
Great minds think alike. Yep.
He said, "Yeah, yeah, great minds for sure. Well, yeah, of course. You have fun on your adventures, and please come again and buy more, please."
Oh, I think you'll see my associates very soon. And I hold all the cards in my hands and just kind of like walk backwards towards the door, kick it open with my foot. Does it go in or out?
No, it went in.
Yeah, I just kick the door. It doesn't go anywhere. While still holding the cards, I open up the door and just walk out.
He's just stared at you the whole time, just bewildered. And then he goes
Uh,
back to his duties. Outside of Todd's oddities, and you can add to your inventory 10 playing cards.
well,
Or 9 playing
9.
cards, yeah.
Yeah.
Playing cards with a quantity of 9.
Oh, I didn't know I was doing that.
I think you hit the
It's gonna be.
search. It's not like a plus, it's
Yeah.
like a search. And it's called playing cards.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Because yeah, if you wanted to make like custom equipment.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what the plus is.
Uh, I'm not getting the inventory browser pulled up, so I won't worry about it right now. But
Okay.
uh, I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
say like yeah.
I'll get you.
I'll just
I'll
say
add it in.
okay. Oh wait, no, it just pulled up. I guess the internet's just being slow.
I got you.
Oh, you already had it.
Yeah, make it 9.
All right. Magic cards. I didn't even know there could be such a thing. I
Yeah,
didn't think
and
there
then,
already is magic.
and I'll make a custom item for your magic cards.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
but because it's not like the marked cards, but it's
Yeah, it's its
similar
own
to it.
thing.
It'll help you.
Okay. Well, uh, I'm gonna like sit down, and this will be the last thing I do
Mm-hmm.
before I gotta go. But I would like to look at the magic cards at like
Okay.
I don't know, just like a somewhere like I can sit down.
Yep. There's plenty of places you could sit against a building, or maybe there's a bench or two somewhere.
Mhm. Yeah. Uh. All right. I take them out. I look at them. They said they like moved around. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to just like that one trick the guy was doing where he'd shoot the cards.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who screwed up. I want to just do that one and
Okay.
see how they react to that.
Okay. I'll say.
Or you know what? Let's just start with a normal shuffle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll say that as you're shuffling them, these cards feel very smooth, and even though you've shuffled cards thousands of times, you still have to put a little bit of concentration into it, right?
Yeah.
where now you feel like you're putting in less concentration. It's almost like the cards are doing it themselves, but it's
Oh,
not entirely like they're not just, your hands aren't there and it's doing it. It's only it feels better to shuffle these cards than other cards.
it's almost
But
like they're a part of me.
yeah, yeah, and as when you kind of collapse it into just one deck, right? You kind of look at it in your hand, and maybe there's like a card or two at the bottom that's kind of like not at the perfect angle, and as you're looking at it and you kind of look closely, it kind of readjusts into it, so it all is just one clean deck of cards, kind of like the way you picked it up off of the
So it's like a
shelf.
self-correcting deck
Hmm.
of cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It wants to be in order, and like that's kind of what you noticed when he like fanned it out across the desk, or like the counter. Like some were out of the fan, and then they would fan back in quickly, and just kind of small adjustments to make it look better. uh,
Okay.
but I would
Yeah.
say,
Then what
yeah.
I kind of do is
Hmm.
like on whatever flat surface is in front of me, I kind of just like spread them out in a really disorganized way and see what happens.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll say you spread them out, and if they're kind of uh, kitty cornered, they each move, like we're talking like they inch forward, and it's like it's almost, if you were to blink you wouldn't see it move, because it's not like sliding, and it's also not like instantaneous. If you
Yeah.
weren't looking for it, you wouldn't really notice, but they slowly start to just inch forward. And so and probably if they were really disorganized, probably after like 10 seconds it's this clean flush. All of the cards are perfectly aligned. But it's not something where you can just mess up, and it'll fix all the minutia, and it'll make it look really clean, basically.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this because sometimes screwing up is part of the act, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe it could be used as a great way to train people to get them,
Mm.
how to act. So I can do a preliminary, lesson. Thinking of great things for Alden's empire.
And
To
it
look at
was
the birth
worth
of an
2 gold.
empire.
It was the
It was
worth.
worth the gold.
It was worth the gold.
That's like that's like food and a house. Like like I gotta have to get some income, but uh,
You'll see
all
Amelia
right.
tomorrow.
I'll see Amelia tomorrow, and I'll also get a bunch more goons underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right. And with that, I'm gonna head back towards the lower part of Ridak,
Mm.
lower end, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
start recruiting as many homeless people as I can to learn how to
Okay.
do magic tricks with cards,
All
so I can
right.
start my own empire, my own big
Oh
top, and
yeah.
show that fox bastard his institution is nothing.
Mm-hmm. I love it. All right. Awesome. And I'll say it's like, as we're ending the day, I'll say it's like 3 p.m. because you're at like the bar
Okay.
for like a couple hours,
Yeah.
and then you went to Todd's Oddity. So yeah, so it's like 3 p.m. And so tomorrow
Okay.
you will see Amelia, but yeah, you'll start to recruit some homeless people. Real,
Great.
yeah.
See, I give back.
Mm-hmm.
Alden School. That's perfect. And I can set it up in the shadow room since it's unoccupied.
Yeah.
And it also, has like that witchy feel already.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can teach people there. And I'll go out. I'll put them near schools or whatever. And,
Or
just
whatever.
rake in the copper.
Mm-hmm. I love
Anyway.
it.